2 years down the road, our first full year, we want a 5 to 7% decrease in the targeted areas. The goals and strategies we're using are working right now, and we have to tailor them every day as the crime, the trends and the patterns as they change. Maybe one of our targeted areas next year may not be the same because maybe the incidents of violent have decreased enough to where another area will pop up, kind of like a hot spot. So,
So people are saying, after May 17th, there was all this attention, all this was said that was going to happen. But people saying, I don't really think much has changed. What do you want to say to them?
well, we are data driven, we're intelligence led in our policing efforts, and in the Parkland neighborhood, which is one of our targeted enforcement areas, total violent crime this year compared to last year is down 29%. Property crime is down 25%, and the homicides this time last year compared to this time this year, we've had 4 last year compared to 0 this year. So I know some people seem to think that things haven't changed, but data and the proof shows that we are down.
Yeah, so that's the proof. There's 4 fucking people that was shot last year and 0 this year. So therefore, that's why going around beating up fucking jaywalkers is effective. That's what we need to do is beat up fucking jaywalkers and basically all the non-violent, peaceful people that you can fuck with. That'll show, it'll make you feel better, make you feel like you're doing something, right? To fucking protect the good fucking, you're the good people and you gotta protect, get the fuck out of here. You guys are the bullies and you guys are fucking with people. The Deputy Chief Yvette Gentry and Lieutenant Johan Stimley, the Viper unit commander, told council members the 30-day unit had been a success. So, yeah, congratulations. It's good, right? It's helping reduce violent crime. Couple of area, times, dates, information. They go on patrol. Look for criminal offenses that are occurring. Also looking for people that were focused on. So they said under 100 people, right? That's what he was focused on. There's under 100 people. I don't know what the fuck jaywalkers have to do with those 100 people, but it's almost... Is that a wild goose chase? Is there an actual list? Do they have a list of fucking, violent criminals that they are targeting? And should the public actually be aware of these fucking violent people that the police are afraid of? A list of 100 people? Who the fuck are these people? These drug kingpins? Are they political opponents of Greg Fisher's? He's got Fishervilles out here and all these fucking homeless. He likes to, tax the fucking homeless and give electric bills to the homeless people and shit, right? So, he's anti-chalking. He don't like when people chalk, up a fucking sidewalk against free speech, against fucking poor people. So, I mean, like, I don't, this is very, that's like Louisville, the LMPD has their own fucking CIA, right? They're intelligence gatherers, so that's great. They're like the FBI, right? They're just fucking tapping everybody's phone, and CIA, right? They're fomenting rebellion everywhere in fucking places they want to topple and take over. And they own all Louisville, so they don't need to do that. The push doesn't really need to happen. It doesn't feel like, at least. And if it does need to happen, they need to do way fucking better. Just 11, a bunch of special units teams run around rogue, doing whatever the fuck they want to do. That ain't helping anybody. That's making it worse. Actually, you've unleashed a fucking devil. You've unleashed a fucking criminal psychopath, and there's fucking people. There's more fucking incidents of mental health abuse and violence and domestic violence and drug abuse and DUI cases actually within the fucking police department in compared to the general fucking public. The police, they're bad. They're a bunch of thugs, and that's what they're hired to be, right? Is a bunch of fucking thugs. So that you don't want a little weakling, little short, little Barney Fife to be a fucking police officer. You want a fucking big, strong, incredible Hulk to go around and pound and hurt anybody that may need to be hurt. But you want a fair Incredible Hulk, right? You want a fair Incredible Hulk, not one that just pounds anybody just for the fuck of it. And that's what you got right now. You got Incredible Hulk going around just fucking people for the fuck of it, and without accountability, thinking he's a good fucking person. But eventually, you're gonna hurt so many people. It's almost like Robespierre in the French Revolution. Robespierre, he just killed too many fucking people, right? He was the French Revolution was good. They took the tyrants out, but then they just started fucking killing everybody. And nobody fucking told him. And then eventually, he was making a fucking speech, and everybody had cheered for him every other day after he had executed somebody. But eventually, he went too far, killed one of his friends, made a speech thinking everything would be all right, and then everybody was just silent. And then finally, somebody says, "You're the devil. You've been killing everybody." And then they said, "Well, does your best friend got your tongue? Does the ghost of your best friend got your tongue?" and he couldn't say shit. So basically, the fucking tides turned against him, and then the fucking, they arrested him. They had arrest warrants, and I don't know what happened if he shot himself in the fucking neck or the face, and then the authorities shot him in the neck and face. They put his fucking head up on the guillotine, or the guillotine. I don't know, it's fucking French, man. French is a hard language. It is kind of effeminate. Get the fuck out of here. Compared to like Creoles, compared to fucking German and Creole, those are tough fucking languages, man. German's a little too tough though. Equilibadis, it still sounds you fucking yelling at him. Like Equilibadis, why you yelling at me? I'm just, that's I love you. Equilibadis is I love you. Oh, well, fuck, that was scary as shit. Can you just use English? But actually, English, this is a Germanic language, a West Germanic. No, German is Germanic, West Germanic. English is West Germanic too, right? No. So, violence is a big issue. Widely discussed shooting in the Parkland neighborhood left 3 people dead. Oh, so he's talking about Kit Stimley sitting there bragging about, having a reduction in crime. Last year there's 4 people and now there's 0, right? So that's why they're, get the fuck out of here. That was on national TV. Everybody saw that shit. That's crazy. You can't fucking predict when some fucking woman gonna get jealous of a boyfriend, of a fucking thing, of a doing a thing. You can't predict shit like that. There was definitely a break in societal, right? Society, some bad shit just totally popped off, and they did it. The thing that was scary about that was that she did it in broad daylight with all the police being right there, right? And didn't die. So she was able to fucking execute somebody that she didn't like in broad fucking daylight. And then, they eventually, I guess, got her down. But that was national news. Everybody knows about that. If anything, you want to talk about, some scary ass shit, popping fucking guns. All those kids who was fucking robbing all them places, I don't remember them shooting anybody. I remember them, damaging property and jumping on cars and stealing, Frito-Lay chips and fucking corn chips and Doritos. And they were taking, just all the corn chips out of these convenience stores. And the convenience stores didn't have any corn chips for anybody to buy. Right, so this thing, the fucking murder, the homicide's more scary than that fucking U of L riot, right? That U of L, I guess, the fans of University of Louisville Cardinal team sort of mini riot. So, see, violent crimes happen. They're kind of spontaneous. Yes, of course, you can't fucking, people have fucking hard lives, and actually the general oppression of the LMPD can't really help, and also the general oppression of America being a fucking country of war, under war all the time. War. Gives people unlimited, autonomous, complete totalitarian fascist power. George W. Bush had it. Barack Obama has it. Seems like every president's going to fucking have it. It's what Nixon said. Nixon said if you're the president, it's not illegal. So if you're the LMPD, if you're the Viper Squad, it's not illegal. So it's going to get better. We still have challenges here. They'll say we can't look at a crystal ball. Preventing crime before it happens may sound like the plot of a TV crime drama, but that's exactly what the Louisville Metro Police are trying to do. That was a Tom Cruise movie, actually. Tom Cruise coming out of Louisville. So Tom Cruise made that movie where they thought he was going to commit a crime, and so they wanted to arrest him, and then he has to run all over the place with all the technology, right? And he had the thing where he was the computer and moving the screen over from one side to the other. It was real cool. Futuristic, good fucking special effects. Wish I knew the title, because it's like a Matrix movie, right? It's one of those philosophical movies that actually you could think deeper about life, and people are visual learners too. So JFK. When I think about JFK, I think back and to the left. I think of his head actually exploding. That's what I think about the assassination. I don't think about the theory, the Warren Commission, what anybody said or did, or any fucking thing else. That's the thing that I see the most vivid of. And it's the video, it's the visual. So the visual of the thing actually is, sticks in your mind better. So whenever you have something like a Matrix movie, or you have something like this Tom Cruise movie, Vanilla Skies maybe? Is it Vanilla Skies? No, that was like a dream thing. You could get in a dream world. It was like Mystic Man, Twilight Raider. I don't know. We could do a Google search to see Tom Cruise pre-crime. Sorry for having a slow ass internet. We can do some other things while we're waiting here. Let's see. They're talking about, oh yeah, we have a fucking, Viper squad. It's gonna be great. Lieutenant Kit Stillman is all excited, talking to the media. WLKY. It's not gonna be running and gunning. They're not just gonna be wolf packing everybody. They're not just gonna fucking storm trooper, wolf pack everybody. It's not just a bunch of fucking wolves in sheep's clothing or in fucking official uniform. It's not a bunch of neo-Nazis storming everybody, okay? That is not what the Viper unit is. It's not a bunch of neo-Nazi fucking Ku Klux Confederate, apologists. They're they're anti-violence by being violent against innocent people. This is truly community policing at its finest, declares Kit Stillman. Oh fucking Kit. Oh bald Kit. Oh, bald fucking, freckly-assed fucking, ginger. Which is nothing wrong with freckles and ginger and being bald. Nothing's wrong with that. Nothing is. But he's ugly. So fuck that ugly-ass piece of shit. That's basically, I don't need to fucking give him anymore by being anti-Irish. That's, that's a new type of racism. No, actually, that's nothing. And I'm fucking German and I fucking love the Irish. But the Irish tend to be more fucking drunken and more racist than the rest of us. Minority Report. Okay, yeah, exactly. So Tom Cruise was in Minority Report, and they said that he was going to commit a crime, and they go to arrest him. But seriously, can you tell somebody they're going to commit a crime? It's also the Bush doctrine to attack countries you think is going to attack you. So I can invade Iraq if I think Iraq is going to attack me. The preemptive strike, the preemptive doctrine, which actually is just bullshit fucking terminology, right? There's only 2 or 3 choices that you can do to a country. You can either, like Canada, okay, so America can either respect Canada's sovereignty and just declare peace and be neutral and have bilateral trade and just work on, a peaceful fucking relationship, or we could declare war on them, right? We could fucking declare war on them and just try to take them over and try to, take their land and all their people and shit. Or we could just not give a shit, right? Just fucking have, I guess, some sort of peaceful sanctions or some shit. Or just don't deal with them at all, right? Just say, pretend they're not there. So there's actually like 4 choices that you could do. But when you say that you're invading people because you think they might invade you, you're actually deceiving yourself. I don't know if the Japanese or the Chinese or the Canadians, if the Canadians were sending motherfuckers over the border with fucking guns and shit and fucking smart fucking technology, which the technology is getting better and better these days. So really, I don't know. You need more motherfuckers. You don't need more stormtroopers. You need more motherfucking smart Einstein Americans, right? You need more people that's actually going to sort of push the America to the limits or whatever. Try to push. We're supposed to be innovative and fucking skillful. No, some of us are just blindly obedient to the fucking factory workers and the fucking soldier system. So the military industrial complex. Not everybody knows how to fucking think out here, think for themselves, think and how to make their own goddamn money. Without actually having to enslave themselves to another person and get themselves a fucking job, right? A wage slave job. So Minority Report. Minority Report's fucking actually, that's a great philosophical film, 2002, made by Louisville's own Tom Cruise. So this is the article was written when it first came out. So this is about October 1st, right? And now when he said they first got up and going. So let's see, this October 11th, this is the Viper Squad has been in service for about 10 fucking days, right? 2 months after this fucking article is written, they're gonna kick my ass on fucking 4th Street and M Street, South Louisville by Churchill Downs, where that murder just happened. And they have no leads. They don't know who the fuck kills people around there, right? I saw fucking prostitutes and violence and gunshots and not, I didn't see the violence. They're the only people I saw with violence, but you assume that a window was broken, violence had happened, right? So it's a violent fucking neighborhood. You have to watch over. It's a hot spot, so you have to watch out for the fucking criminals and the goddamn criminal police. You have to watch out for everybody around here. And there ain't anybody you can trust, and that fucking blows, and that sucks. You want to talk about why Louisville's the 3rd saddest fucking city in the fucking state and in the fucking country? It's because they created an air of intimidation, and then they set the example so everybody fucking follows their goddamn lead as if that's how you're supposed to be. Nah, it ain't how you're supposed to be. That's fucking bullshit. If anything, I can't. I trust you less. If you got to be a fucking, you got to tighten your asshole up and then act like you're better than everybody, like you're gonna fucking hurt everybody. Fuck you, fascist. You fascist fucking piece of shit. You want to fucking hit people? You want to hurt people? Do you want to molest them too? You molest or oppressor? What else you want to fucking do? You want to rape them? You're gonna fuck with them until they don't want to be fucked with no more. You're gonna rob them. You're gonna do anything and everything to them because you don't give a fuck. It's the oppressors versus the oppressed. It's Paulo Freire. It's basic equality 101. So, okay, finish this. I think 15 minutes. No, I probably could do a couple more minutes. So, people are sick and tired of being scared of not being able to sit on their own porch. Who the fuck is, like, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. That does suck. You should be allowed to sit on your own fucking front porch. That is absolutely fucking true. So it stands for violent incident. It sounds a little racist underneath of it, though, to be honest with you. He had been charged. The only two things we know that he'd been charged with, Kit Stimley, was two things: conduct unbecoming an officer and racial discrimination. So maybe being a racist, which Eric McBastard, not a big fucking surprise. Being a bald man in a fucking police uniform, also not a big fucking surprise. So you have Wednesday night began with two routine traffic stops, one at Broadway and Hodge Street and the other at 22nd Street and Hale Avenue. The detectives WLKY patrolled with our two of the department's best, handpicked along with 30 others that comprise a new unit, use crime data analysis, target people, fucking jaywalkers, right? Diffuse problems, get the guns, find out from the community who the bad guys are, identify the bad guys, put them in prison. He acted like he already knew who they were. There's about 100 guys. Did you just make that list up? Was there 100 guys always? Or did you create the fucking thing and then just justified it by creating a nation that doesn't even exist? So, I don't know. I have actually heard about fucking gangs existing in Louisville, so I don't know how operable they are. There might be a use for the Viper Squad. There might be. But what I've seen personally, my own fucking eyes, and how the entire civilian, the Metro Board, the fucking professional standards people, the public integrity unit, they took my fucking complaint, barely, right? Basically gritting their fucking teeth the whole way through it. But they didn't feel comfortable. They didn't really listen. And if they had been convinced of what the fuck I was saying, they wouldn't have done shit about it. So at no point is there a civilian review board. There needs to be a civilian review board. We should pull that article actually back up talking about that, because that's a great idea. So somebody, the Fairness Kentucky Alliance, is sitting there saying that we need the fucking civilian review board. Civilian review board. So I guess I could type in Kentucky Alliance and Louisville. So a Civilian Complaint Review Board, they have one for New York City. It's the first one that pops up. Civilian Review Board for Louisville and Alliance. Kentucky Alliance. In the meantime, we'll finish this article. So, though the unit's only been operational for 7 days, it's already taken 20 guns off the street, several of them stolen, and one assault rifle. Okay. Maybe stolen guns, good. You're fucking getting stolen guns off the street. That's good. One assault rifle. I mean, is it, if they're legally allowed to own the gun, they're allowed to own the fucking gun. It's so weird. If black people have guns, they're going to go to jail. But you see all these white people fucking going to McDonald's and going to the fucking fast food stations with an assault rifle, walking down the street, right? They get fucked with. Don't get me wrong. And it's they go to Obama rallies with fucking AKs and shit. And everybody's just supposed to fucking say that's acceptable. But when Black Panthers come strapped and standing outside the fucking election polls, making sure, their people are being protected at the polls, people freak the fuck out. But the police are the exact same way. Flip it, the opposite way. You're afraid with fucking a man in a uniform that you don't fucking trust with a gun? Huh. Guess what the fuck, I feel. That's exactly how the fuck I feel. I'd rather have the Black Panther up there protecting me at the fucking polls instead of, the police are just fucking crap. They're fucking crap, man. As a result, officers arrested 6 convicted felons in possession of those firearms 90 minutes into Wednesday's shift. The third traffic stop led to the arrest of a suspect wanted on a warrant, but of the non-violent variety, didn't have any firearms. It's exactly the way LMPD wants to keep it. Is where it need to be. Violent crime touches so many people, need to be here. Stimley said his goal to decrease violent crime. I bet you, I don't know. I just got a feeling that violent crime might actually be going on the fucking rise after that fucking, that mini riot happened with the 200 middle school kids. Why do we know that's middle school kids? Because supposedly the fucking police chief said that the informant was a middle school kid. So that's great. You're giving all that information out to, the fucking gangs, and they have street justice, and they got their own fucking legal codes and shit, right? So they have their ways of dealing with people. And so, and then also seeing like lawyers and fucking officials sort of talk about a jailhouse snitch. Oh, you're going to trust a jailhouse snitch and all this other shit. Man, it gets fucking rough out here, man. So who are you listening to? Who's identifying the people that are being bad or the people that are no good, right? Who's doing it? Are these good actual people, or are these people making up shit? Are they just afraid of people? Are they picking out their own fucking personal enemies? A lot of questions. That's why transparency is key. That's why we need to know each and everything. If you got a fucking list of 100 people kill me, then the Louisvillians need to know about this list of 100 people. You got a kill list or to jail list, people that have, you know, a violent rap sheet that you think is going to create more violence for the rest of the people. Then let's see who these people are, and then let the public convict them. Let the public convict them, and then you could be looking out for the people, and then they could find out their movements and say anything, and you'll have lots of people wanting to help you out. But until you convince the people that the person is a bad guy, you know, we're just supposed to fucking trust you. We're just supposed to believe you. Nah, you need to start telling us shit. You can't fucking keep us in the dark and expect us to, you know, be awesome or be cool. So Kathleen Parks, chair of the Kentucky Alliance, is proposing a civilian police. Looks like a review board, right? Kentucky Louisville Police. Citizens Against Police Abuse History, Kentucky Alliance Against Racial and Political Oppression. So yeah, this is good fucking stuff here. And then Civil Rights to the Gateway to the South. Civilian Complaint Review Boards. All civilian board tasked with investigating complaints about alleged misconduct on part of the New York Police Department history is established in its current incarnation in 1993 under the leadership of former New York City Mayor David N. Dinkins. The Civilian Complaint Review Board asserts to be the largest civilian oversight agency of its kind within the United States, investigates thousands of. So yeah, this is exactly what we need. We need a civilian review board, democratically elected. Police can't just be rogue fucking agents out there. The politicians aren't really putting enough pressure on the fucking police to do their fucking jobs. They probably, you know, love to have, it's probably a buddy-buddy fucking relationship, right? The fucking corporations pay off the fucking politicians. Politicians look the other way with the police. Police help out the fucking politicians. Everybody, you know, makes a fucking couple bucks. Fucking black dude gets his head stomped in the fucking jail. Nobody gives a shit. And, you know, all the people in jail gets fucking raped even though they're in for non-violent offenses. Nobody gives a shit. And, you know, the country slips a few points, and, you know, we're getting dumber and crazier and poorer and all these other issues that's going on, and they're just rising in totalitarian fascism, right? Just throwing more and more people in fucking jail. Louisville Peace. Louisville Review Board create trust accountability through citizen modern and police activities. Many people in Louisville, particularly African-American, immigrant, poor, white communities, don't trust the police. It's partly due to widespread dissatisfaction. The way complaints about police activities within the community are handled. These complaints range from harassment of youth hanging out on a street corner to deadly use of force against unarmed men. People are either afraid to file a complaint or think it won't do any good. Some officers actually try to persuade people not to file formal complaints that will later become part of an officer's official record. Processes and suggestions for filing a complaint and CAPA harassment form. Basically, there's a lack of trust between the people in Louisville. A lot of people don't believe the police officials take the complaints seriously. At best, investigations into these complaints by officials inside the police department are superficial, while other times they're outright attempts to cover up misconduct and abuse through news accounts about word of mouth. Louisville has witnessed time and again the worst incidents of police and other law enforcement violence or abuse going unpunished. Sometimes those involved were even promoted or honored. Who looked into these cases and decided to fate? Yeah, so the LMPD killed all those black kids and shit, and that's what the fucking police chief in '99, he went ahead and give them fucking, you know, Medal of Valor, you know, Medal of Merit, right? Medal of Valor, right? Big fucking awards and shit, and said, good job, you know, for some other case, but it seemed in poor taste to do it right after they had just fucking, you know, killed fucking unarmed black people. And it was in poor taste. And then the Klan marched out with the fucking LMPD. So that's good fucking bedfellows, right? When the police are marching, you had basically a police fucking military fucking coup d'etat, right? The police were marching. Are they allowed to march? Are they allowed the police are allowed to fucking march against the people? Is that what they're doing? That's weird. They're supposed to be governed by a civilian, you know, fucking leadership at very least, the politicians. And if the politicians aren't controlling, who the fuck? Just the police chief, just himself? He's the fucking, and he is, yeah, police chief. That's like the sheriff in town, right? The police chief is the main head honcho. He's the main dude. So what is needed in a civilian review board? ACLU, 60% of the nation's 50 cities has, so the nation's 50 largest cities already have some type of civilian review system in place. They vary widely, but they basically have openness, investigatory power, independent citizen involvement, adequate funding. That's what we need. We need an open, you know, a citizen review board where we have all these things. Citizen people, democratically elected, independent, autonomous. They need to have investigatory power so they can have their own fucking, you know, their own powers, the openness, adequate funding. The way they could do this actually by Kentucky law is by establishing a task force. they can establish a task force through the governor, actually through the county judge executive. So I got to find out if Louisville operates by constitution or not. Nobody has ever told me that. You know, we have a dual federal system, so some state government laws, some federal government laws. What about Louisville? Does they have their own charter? In Cincinnati, they have the charter rights. So there's an actual city fucking constitution in addition to all the other constitutions out there. Nobody's ever asked fucking Carl, and he didn't fucking know about it, of Occupy, but he was going to make fun of me because I never heard about, you know, the fucking station, public, fucking, I don't know, the NPR. You don't know the station? Do you know the fucking laws? What constitution? Do you know what the fuck is going on? Fuck you. Stupid ass. He talks like a politician, tries to trick everybody. Well, if I talk real slow, you won't realize that I didn't answer your question, and you'll forget, and you'll not want to ask me anything ever again because I'm talking to you like such an asshole. But I'm so smart because I don't want to tell you everything, but I want to. Fuck you. So, yeah, Officer Carl Payne, Kit Stimley. I don't know what the fuck these guys are up to, but they're definitely not. Stimley, actually, towards the end, he started doing his hair all fucking funky, kind of like Carl Payne. So he started getting a little bit of flavor, and Stimley's like chasing Carl Payne was. So I don't know. This seems to be more of a symptom of the department than these actual dudes. I think any other given day, it seems like these guys would probably be okay guys to kind of chill, hang out with, and Carl Payne likes to get drunk and shit. So it'd be fun to party. And Kit Stilme, I don't know, he's Irish. So is that racist to assume that he likes alcohol? Yeah, it is. It is racist to assume that, and I'm not going to. But if he did, it just seemed like he would be maybe have a beer with, or maybe have, I don't know, just shoot the shit with, just to talk to, just to say, hey, what's up, man? So a group alleges the LMPD has been racially profiling. The racially profiling, I don't know. I think there's a mixture here. So there's people are racist. It's fucking America. There's white, black, and brown. That's basically how white people see it. It's how black people see it. And there's a weird ass tussle there. I hate racism, and I hate the shit that happens for everybody, really. So I think that it's the oppressors and the oppressed. It's the rich and the poor. So there's an economic fucking thing here. Yeah, there is racism, of course, and there's institutional racism. But in terms of actually having the Klan coming out and people talking bad about black people in general, I don't hear that as much. They're in hushed whispers and it exists, but in general, your fucking Kramers are going to get shamed out of fucking, Hollywood. Your Paula Deans are going to get, they're going to lose their fucking jobs and their positions. Even Alec Baldwin, he got in trouble. Not your fucking boy Bieber, right? So why did Justin Bieber rise up? His shit was like, oh my God, he was singing it. Well, was it too rhythmic? Did you like the fucking song he came up with? It was fucking most racist shit, more than Donald Sterling. Donald Sterling gets shamed out and almost, kicked out of shit. So, I mean, this country seems like we hate fucking racists. We cannot stand people who are just bigoted assholes. In general, America. Kentucky, I don't know. Kentucky, the Ku Klux Klan, Kentucky, KKK. Right, but it's also home of Muhammad Ali and Hunter S. Thompson and Ashley Judd, George Clooney, Johnny Depp. A lot of fucking cool progressive people out there. So, there's countercurrents and there's a mixture. We also passed the 1966 Civil Rights Act. MLK passed it was the most comprehensive Civil Rights Act passed in any of the states. First ones in the South, right? So we're one of the most comprehensive, one of the best Civil Rights Acts. So don't fucking be racist. 1968, MLK, Martin Luther King Jr. was actually, marching in fucking Frankfurt. He was here. He was there. So that shit happened. That was passed in Frankfurt. That happened here in America or in Kentucky. So while there are fucking racists, in the governor's hometown, you have the Dawson Springs, the Ku Klux Klan, the HQ for the Ku Klux Klan is in Dawson Springs, which is in the hometown of the fucking governor. The governor's also bigoted when it comes to homosexuals. So people that, I don't know, when you're anti-gay, I can just see that you being anti-Mexican, anti-black, anti-blah, blah, blah, when a whole rainbow perspective. I'm not colorblind. I see lots of colors, okay? And it isn't black folks. Black folks aren't the only colors I see. I see white. White's a color too, right? And not many white people. There's some pale albinos out there, but really there's peach colors, and there's fucking pink and strawberry, and there's mahogany and brown, and I don't really see any literal white, black people at all. A lot of brown folks, peach colored people, right? So Kentucky Alliance, kick ass. Let's get the fucking Civilian Review Board. It's about fucking time. Kathleen Parks, what a badass. I am in love with Kathleen Parks. Who is this woman? I hope she is Do I know her? Do I know Kathleen Parks? I don't know. I'm in love with her. Kentucky Alliance Against Racist and Political Oppression. Kathleen Parks is a badass. I have not seen her, but I think she's a great freedom fighter, and we need to do what Kathleen Parks wants and get a fucking a democratically elected civilian review board for the fucking LMPD. And then once the police are fucking, once they get to be honest, and then other people start to be honest, and then that'll trickle down. That'll help. Okay, so Ricky Jones, he's there, hanging out. Right, he's just kind of chilling out. There's Chief Gene Sherrod. He was a fucking racist that's giving awards to people for murdering people. Right, Ku Klux Klan, they had a rally. Right, yay, Police Chief Sherrod. Right, the Ku Klux Klan loved them. It was met by hundreds of anti-KKK citizens. So there's equal, I guess, people on both sides. Who's actually policing? I guess they're protecting the KKK. The police were, of course. Right, they're allowed to fucking with their hate speech. They're allowed with their hate speech. And they are allowed with their hate speech, but they wouldn't allow black folks to do the same shit, And actually, that we were not allowed to wear Guy Fawkes mask because of that fucking KKK shit. Jefferson County Police Department announced county police officers start recording the race of every driver pedestrian. Okay. Clifford Lewis, 18 years old, in 2001, was killed by detectives by the undercover street crimes unit, right? Like Viper Squad. So they've had Johann Stimley. The leader of the fucking Viper Squad is Johann Stimley. Johann Kit Stimley. The guy who is... That's incredible. So there's a direct fucking link. There's a direct connection here. Okay, so fucking Clifford Lewis has got shot, 18 years old, fucking January 9th. And this Johann Stimley, who's part of the undercover street crimes unit, they've had this Viper Squad before. He's fucking pushed up towards it, right? So they fucking created this shit. So this fucking incredible. This is amazing. The fucking people that fucked me over, the same people, the same motherfucker that was, that murdered the fucking innocent black folks. I just saw a continuity, but now I see actual direct link. So yeah, this is an exciting moment for me here. Johann Stimley, the principal or only shooter. So actually, he's the fall guy. He gets fucked over for killing Clifford Lewis, but not that fucked over. He still has a job. So they paid. Let's see. They say they paid fucking Adrian Reynolds money, Timothy Thomas. But I don't see them getting paid, for any fucking money here. Clifford Lewis got shot, 18 years old. Undercover street crimes unit. They pulled in the parking lot behind the van. He was driving an unmarked sports utility vehicle. Plainclothes officers approached him with guns drawn. Yeah, great. Bunch of white guys with guns. Oh, man, I'm going to trust you, assholes. No, fuck you. I'm driving, too. I'm driving away, too. You know what? I'm supposed to believe you're the fucking police? I guarantee they didn't say police. They just said, get out of the car, right? Just like goddamn thugs. Just like fucking, Iran-Contra fucking guerrillas from Guatemala. So you have plainclothes officers approached him with guns drawn, thinking he was someone else. And according to witnesses, no warning given. The officer shot at Lewis. The car rolls across the street, hitting the house, and the officers fired at him again. But he's reaching for his waistband, right? Oh yeah, they saw him reaching for his waistband while he was in the fucking car. Bullshit! You can't see nothing. You can't see a person's hand. And if they reach down for something, you don't know if it's in the waistband. That's a lie. They lied about Clifford Lewis getting fucking shot. Okay, and then let's see, after that happened, so this fucking Kit Stimley, the guy who sets up the fucking Viper Squad and has Joel Casey and fucking Aaron Browning go around kicking people's asses for no apparent reason, giving them $28,000 in medical bills and making them a goddamn Frankenstein for an ugly ass fucking Frankenstein for 3 fucking years, stealing 3 years of their goddamn life, their dignity, fucking self-respect, and their face. What price can you put on someone's face? It's priceless. A person's face is priceless. That's Hollywood, motherfuckers from Hollywood, they live on their fucking faces. So some of these pretty ass people couldn't do shit if they didn't have a fucking pretty face. So let's see, January 15th, Kappa participated in a march of over 500 people to police headquarters. So we've killed the people. So we see the fucking Clifford Lewis dead. So we're going to do more actually on Johann Stimley, the fucking founder, or the fucking motherfucker that actually killed fucking Clifford Lewis, who was the head of the Viper Squad for 2 fucking years. He's this, he's already killed a man. He's already killed a person, and he's still fucking a police officer. You can murder a man in cold fucking blood. They found nothing on Clifford Lewis. They had his whole truck. They had his body. Okay, they killed Clifford Lewis, this 18-year-old black boy, in 2001. They had, okay, so they killed him, and they said, you know, they made up lies saying that he reached in his waistband. Fuck you didn't see shit. But they could have found something on him, right? He could have had illegal guns. They're talking about illegal guns. Big fucking deal about illegal guns. He could have had drugs, right? He could have had a little bit of pot on him or something, right? He could have been, you know, anything. He could have been anything on him. He could have had expired tags. He could have had something, right? He could have been drunk, right? He could have been drinking. You could have. So there's so many fucking things that they could have done, right? Done fucking toxicology and said, oh, he'd been drinking, he was drunk, oh, he had fucking illegal guns, oh, he had drugs. But they found nothing. They found not a goddamn thing. They had every fucking thing, his truck, his car. They had him, his dead body, so they searched all his belongings, his person, his pockets, his everything. They checked the fucking car, right? The trunk, underneath the seats, underneath the thing, the engine, everywhere, right? Got the dog sniffing and everything. Couldn't find shit. Couldn't find shit. Clifford Lewis had no gun. He had no weapon. What the fuck would he be reaching in his waistband for? He's not reaching in his waistband. Lying ass motherfuckers. He's struck by 5 bullets come from different angles. Probably shot in the back as he's driving away. And they just said Johann Stimley was the only fucking person that they did it. Johann Stimley, the putrid doofus, shot fucking Clifford Lewis. So, Cincinnati Swite funeral. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to come back to more Johann Stimley. Man, did not realize, same fucking dude.